Simmons Production.
Alright, what's good with the people? It's your boy Simmons.
It's your boy Dane.
And it's Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang, 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 bang.
You already know what time it is. Another day, another dollar,
Yes,
another week. We still out here doing what we gotta do, handling our business.
Yeah, man.
He doing the school, I'm doing the clothes.
And I'm almost done.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm almost done, bro. My advisor hit me. She was like, we just checking in, let you know that everything is, you registered for your last two classes, everything's copacetic. That is the conversation that I've been waiting for.
Yeah.
Like, your boy is almost donezo.
Man,
I could go back to having a normal life.
it's been a journey.
Yeah.
Cause I know it's been times like, I know y'all, like, most podcasts, like, the amount of time that we put into this so far.
Yeah.
Like, if we just had all the free time, we should have had way more episodes.
Yeah.
But being that we're both, like, busy individuals,
Yeah.
he's doing the schooling and working full time. Me, I'm just entrepreneur, like, cutting hair, clothes. As a matter of fact, keep the clothes, the sweatsuits, the olive green black royalty, and then the black royalty shirt.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Light plug, go check out the site, Simmons Corner. But we both have things that we have going on in our lives, so it's like we would love to give y'all more content. Hopefully soon, like we'll be able to get to it, like and provide y'all with more. So you know.
Trust me, we got a lot more coming. Is with more free time comes more creative ideas.
Ideas.
Because we usually film on a Friday or something like that, but when with me not having school, I can easily be more flexible to do whenever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's gonna get better. We got some ideas floating around, so bear with us because it's almost that time. So really have a good focus,
And don't think I forgot. The merch is still coming.
Yeah.
Cause there's been a lot going on.
Yeah.
But I'm about to put that together for sure. So stay tuned for that.
I need that.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna wear that like Crenshaw clothing.
That's employee clothing.
Yeah.
Right? That's the uniform.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's coming. There's a lot going on out here. Trump catching COVID. Trump and Melania.
This is. I've been telling people, man, like, I feel like the world is upside down, right? And it was like consecutive things that was going on, and I don't know if it was my girl, I don't know if it was my coworker, somebody told me, right?
Yeah.
They was like, every time, this last few weeks, every time he came out, Donald Trump came out and he said certain things, it was like there was an immediate reaction by the universe to what he said. So when he was at the debate, and they asked him about holding these rallies, he was like, I ain't gotta worry about the rallies and stuff. We're social distance. Nobody has come back and tested positive and this, that, and third. Like 2 days after or the day after he does the debate where he's just looking like a lunatic up there, he does the Rose Garden at the White House. Then I'm not gonna say half, that's be extreme, but at least 5 or 6 people that went to the Rose Garden, including him and his wife, contracted the coronavirus.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? Like you downplay it and then you catch it.
It was hard. Like I don't like because I'm watching the situation from afar. I'm not like hovering over it, but like when they first said it, I'm not sure if I believe this shit. And then I don't know if it was you or someone sent me the video. This thing like struggling to hold that coffee.
Yeah.
Like he looked like
Yeah, I was watching. It was funny because I was watching it. I happened to be watching it with my sister, and my sister was like, she's like, because I'm literally like, you can ask my girl. Every day, every week, she's like, he can't do anything to blow my mind.
Oh no.
And then he does something. He does but then he does something to blow your mind, right? So when he was in the hospital and he made it into a whole fucking spectacle of him leaving and going over here and all that stuff, I'm sitting there looking at talking to my sister, and I'm looking at it like, I can't believe this. When he walked up those steps, right? Mm-hmm. Like, come on, bro. This is how you know that he not quite smart. Because they said that whenever he lands, there's a door on the first level.
Yeah.
Right? And he always goes through, all the presidents go through that first level.
Yeah.
Because to go to the second level, those are like hella steep steps to go to the White House, right? Yeah. So even if you are like sick and having like lung issues and everything, mm-hmm. I don't know, like at work I have stairs that I take. Like I try to, because there's no gyms. The gyms is like barely open, whatever. So I try to take like the stairs just to get a little bit of exercise instead of taking the elevator. But you have your mask on. By the time you get to the top of the steps, you can't breathe. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So you're already having issues. You talk about you having lung issues where you're in hospital. You went up all these steps.
And now you got the corona, like, you hurt.
And he was gasping for air at the top of it. And then he was trying to hold that cough in. I was like, man, bro, it's like he's not smart enough to know that he's making himself look bad.
I don't know. It's just to the point where he's done so many corny things. It's like at some point, it's like, bro, like you gotta just become intelligent and just be aware. Like, read the room. Like, like you downplayed it all this time. Your mans was following you to the grave, and you fucked around, went to the grave.
That bothers me. Herman Cain.
Herman Cain. You know what I'm like?
That bothers me.
It's like, bro, like. I ain't hear that. But it's like, if y'all see the track record of somebody doing some questionable things, at some point you gotta think like, maybe I shouldn't be following this guy, because I'm about to follow him right off a cliff.
But that's the thing that realistically is disturbing to me, right?
100%.
Because. And that's why I keep saying it's like the world is upside down right now. Mm-hmm. Because he's doing shit that's crazy. Yeah. Everybody knows it's crazy stuff is coming out of his mouth, but people are like die hard for him, right?
It's so crazy because like this is what I learned, and it has to do with whatever that racist gene that is inside people. Like,
he called it a gene.
It's something. Like,
it's something, yeah.
The gene, a sickness, whatever the fuck.
Yeah.
Like, for whatever reason, like, all logic just goes out of the window. Like, they just refuse to look at, like, you can present them with every evidence, like, and I'm like, well, now, but we'll do, like, it's like, bro, like.
So I had a nail in my tire yesterday, right?
That happened to me like 2 days ago.
Yeah, so I had to go get a whole new tire, but I had like road assistance insurance or whatever, so I got it done for like $11, right? Mm-hmm. But sitting there, and my girl is for those of you who got independent, strong women, it's not they gonna do what they do, right? So we sitting outside of the place, and mind you, I live in an area that is it's multicultural, but it's still like whitish. Yeah. You know what I mean? And you was in Upland driving. Yeah. And you said the dude got his gun on his hip and all that, and we ain't even open carry. But we're dealing with those type of individuals, right? So we sitting outside of the place. And she's going in like, oh, Donald Trump this, Donald Trump that. And I'm looking around, I'm like, it's a lot of white people. There's a lot of white people. There's a lot of white people out here. And not all of them of the same thinking. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I said, so there might be some Trump supporters out here, and you're out here talking crazy.
I'm gonna need you to tone it down.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm not trying to fight right now.
Yeah, and
I'm out of shape. Ain't been in the gym.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't been in the gym. I probably got maybe 2 jabs and a hook. If I don't catch them with that, I'm going down. You know what I'm saying?
Now, like, niggas out of shape, you got a dope fiend somebody.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said set them up 2 jabs and a hook, man. And I'm not.
You just gotta catch them slipping. You act like you gonna walk off like, man, I ain't got time. Bing.
Yeah. And so, she's talking. I can see this older white dude just looking at us, right? And I'm like, and you gotta understand, my girl is she speaks loud. You know what I mean? Like she
don't got the whisper.
She
voice.
don't have the indoor voice. She just talks, right?
No library voice.
And I'm just looking at this dude. So we leave, and when we leave, I realized because I have rims on my car, they didn't give me back my wheel lock.
Yeah.
So I had to go back.
Yeah.
So when I pull up, I told her, I said, hey, jump out real quick and just go tell them about the wheel lock.
Mm-hmm.
So she jumps out, she comes back into the car, and the guy is sitting there with a woman now. I'm thinking it's his wife. She was like, yeah, when I got out, all he said was, that's her right there. That's the one that was talking about a truck. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, he has some, as idiotic as he seems to a lot of us, he has some diehard followers.
And that's the thing, is like, at the end, like, it comes down to this, it's kind of like how the music industry is with artists. They have those core fans that will ride with them and just like, they could put out some trash like, he just had an off day, or she had an off album. We're gonna let that slide.
I'm not gonna lie, I'll raise my hand to that. You know who I was rocking with for years. And he trash. I started to think that he trash. You know, nah, man. Your boy Eminem.
Oh.
Your boy Eminem. I used to be that person. When he would say something, I comment like, hey, check this out, bro. He was fired when this, that, and third. If you go back and listen to the Slim Shady EP, man, that nigga, I have to admit, I'm an Eminem fan, but he ain't been dope since that Eminem, the Slim Shady EP.
It's been a cool, like, don't get me wrong, he's talented at putting words together.
He wasn't even good on Big Sean's cipher that he just came out with.
Yeah, it's just like, now he's just rhyming for rhyming's sake. And it's like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just like, because he would say some shit. It was funny because I don't want to mention the podcast and then he start getting hot again. But I'm just saying because it's already out there, it's public. But Joe Budden podcast, when they be going over his lyrics, sometimes I'm like, yo, that shit do sound kind of. I forget what it was. Something he said. I was like,
listen, he has bars. I just think that he has not realized that as you age, you have to reinvent your content.
He hasn't reinvented himself at all.
He has not reinvented himself at all. So all of that hickory dickory dockety mickety fickety dickety boppity bippity whippity, that was for that era, right?
But the cool thing about it was like, because the other day I was listening to the radio,
right,
and How My Name Is came on.
Yeah.
And I was listening to his rhyme patterns and how he was spitting.
But he was actually talking about something.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the point. That's the point.
I'm listening like, hi, kids, look at it. Like the way he does it now, he did it back then. Like, I like his setup. Like now, it's like his flow is so like predictable. It's like.
But he's not. But he's also not really talking about anything because, like you just said, the Hi My Name Is. If you actually go back and listen to the Hi My Name Is. When he was like, hi kids, do you like violence? Do you want to see me stick 9-inch nails through each one of my eyelids? He was like, try acid to get fucked up worse than my life is. My brain is dead weight. I'm trying to get my head straight, but I can't figure out which Spice Girl I'm trying to impregnate. The whole entire song was about, I'm not a role model. I'm the new rapper on the scene. Yeah. I'm not a role model. Yeah. You got that from that.
Yeah.
Now, he'll come on the track and be like, hickory dickory dock, miggity figgity miggity diggity. And you're like, wait, what's the gist like in the cipher, Big Sean cipher? Everybody was rapping about stuff about Detroit. I don't know what he was saying.
That's because I won't say he feels like it, but it's almost, it comes off like just because he is who he is, he feels he can say he can.
But whatever. I feel like he earned his position, rightfully so, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like he didn't realize that I have to maintain my position.
Yeah, it's right now, like for people in his level, the Jay-Z's, the Nas's, like you have to reinvent yourself.
Yeah.
It's either you reinvent yourself or you fade out and you do something else.
Yeah.
Like Ludacris, he hasn't been in the game as long as them, but he realized, like, let me fade into some other stuff. Let me get into acting.
Yeah, because what I believe Ludacris understood about the industry is that it's a young man's game.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And
and he's still able to perform on a high level.
Yeah.
On a high level.
100%. And he's, I tell people all the time, if you're talking about top underrated rappers,
yeah, 100.
Ludacris is number one.
100.
I'm talking about bar for bar.
He'll fuck somebody up.
Whoever you think is the nicest rapper, right? So I think like J. Cole and the Kendrick Lamars are nice.
Yeah.
Right? They talk about some real thought-provoking stuff. If Ludacris wanted to, he could make a whole J. Cole type album.
He could.
About life experiences, stuff that he went through, and it's gonna slap.
Runaway Love.
All of that type of stuff.
Yeah.
Like he's that dude.
I'm trying to follow like this. Like if y'all see me looking off to the side, I'm trying to keep up with the score of what's going on.
27 what?
36-27.
Okay.
Miami up.
Okay. But what you call it? No. So like I said, you have to reinvent yourself, and I believe that Ludacris realized that it's a young man's industry, and they stay within like the industry always try to keep what the streets is doing.
Yeah, 100.
But it's like you posted. It's also a trick of the trade to keep us blinded by not actually following rappers evolving.
Yeah, yeah.
Because the content is going to change, and if the content's change, and those are the mainstream people, the youth is going to gravitate towards building credit, being the riches, and not just wearing
buying cars and all. Because it's always been kind of weird to me, like how like the artists that's like the highest on the charts, the Billboard charts, are getting the most like visible, like they the most visible out there. Like they're usually young.
Yeah.
And it's like, when I think about it, I'm like, there's somebody else younger than them looking at them. This artist like 18 to 21, 23, they really don't know shit about life at that point. So it's like, when you think about this, it's like, you look at somebody like a Kendrick or J. Cole, Big Sean, like they had something, they experienced something as far as like still being young, but not too young. They kind of like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they have something to talk about. Then like even the artists that came before them, the Jay-Z's, the Nas, the DMX, the Fabs, all that. Like we tend to push them out on, like, generally speaking. Although those artists are still relevant, we push them out like they're not like we don't even get a chance to listen about like marriage and the credit talk and all that stuff.
And I'm glad that you said that, because that's exactly what I was about to cut you off with. When Fab came out with his last album, I'm in the group chat with Carlos. On Instagram, we got this little group chat where we talk sports and all of that stuff. Yeah. And when it came out, a lot of the guys in the group was like, "Oh, he done let us down with this one. He cupcaking, he boo-hooing, he just trying to get right with his girl because he had got in trouble." And when I listened to it, I didn't listen to it as like, "Oh, he boo-hooing, he's cupcaking." I listened to it as, this is where he is in his life.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
He was having so many relationship issues that he realized, like, you're not always going to have a real one. So this is what you got to do to keep her. Yeah. You understand what I'm saying? I can relate to that just because I'm older now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I there's almost like people shun evolution of...
Oh, God. Like, they don't want... Because it's weird. Like, what was I was watching the T.I. podcast, Expeditiously, and he was interviewing Big Sean. Yeah. And T.I. was talking about like his first time working with Kanye or whatever. Right. And during that time, Kanye played him Jesus Walks before it was even it was even out. And Kanye in his mind, Kanye egotistical, whatever the fuck. Like he just like, this about to go up, blah 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 type shit. And T.I. looking like, you think you about to blow up off that? Yeah. You think that's about to get the like? Yeah. But it's like the mindset, like, cause T.I. he
blew up.
T.I. he admits like he was like I overlooked it. I didn't see that coming. Yeah. But it's like that song has such a positive message. Like it's like they're afraid. Like, and I blame this partly on the the program directors on radio stations, because a lot of times they're connected to these labels where they're getting paid to play certain tracks or whatever. So when they're presented the opportunity to play some shit that's going to actually inform people about something or uplift or whatever the case may be, like, it's usually not the go-to.
Yeah.
They usually try to run away from that's too positive. I need some negative. I need some drama. Like, drama sells. Yeah. Negativity sells. Fake news, like, people rather hear the lies because it's entertaining than the truth. Yeah. So it's like, it's weird how the opportunity, and it's like, it's up to the people, because it's partly on the radio, but it's also on the fans to actually want to hear something that's going to actually feed them. I get it. You want to hear some of the bullshit time to time. Like, y'all want to turn up. Yeah. Fuck bitches and this, that. Like, it sounds good. Like, I want to drink, and like, if you into drugs, whatever the fuck. Like, but it's like, there's a time and place for that. We can't make it a 24/7 time for that. No. And that's the problem. No. Like, we need to separate and make some room. So it's just like, and the cool thing about it though, the artist that's doing the best right now, the J. Cole's, the Kendricks, and even the Drakes. Yeah. They talk about real life shit.
But that's I'm gonna tell people God's honest truth. Like, I think me and him probably was the only people back in like 2008, 2009 who was listening to Kendrick Lamar in the Inland Empire. Right? And every time I would tell people, like, bro, this dude is mind blowing. Was because Kendrick graduated the same year we graduated from high school. Yeah. So he was talking about the same stuff we were talking about in high school, the same stuff we was doing in high school, our same thought process, all of that stuff. Because, like I said, we both 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the streets. Yeah. Kendrick was 1 foot in, 1 foot out of the streets. You understand what I'm saying?
We was able to relate to it.
We was able to relate to it. So I was telling people, like, this dude is hard. And then people would listen to him, and they're like, he ain't got no radio cuts. He ain't got, like, those beat selections. I don't like the beat selection. And I'm like, are you not hearing what he's talking about?
I didn't meet those type of people.
You know what I'm saying? When I was introducing people to it, 08, 07, 08, like 09, they wasn't feeling. You feel me? What's the score?
41-33.
Okay.
Miami up right now.
Yeah, they need, the Lakers got to get it together. But people wasn't feeling that. And then Kendrick blew. He blew up. Now, a lot of people like him. The same people who weren't messing with him, they like him. But it's because it's the same reason why I have a love-hate for Drake, right? There's times where I love Drake's, like, album music, not his singles. Yeah. Like, his album music. I love Drake's mixtape music. Like, the So Far Gone is still...
It's a classic.
It's a classic.
Hands down, classic.
But it's the rawness and the realness of the conversation. Yeah. Right? Yeah. But then he'll still hit you with a song now that's Drake. Not him trying to get radio play, not him trying to go viral, but Drake having real candid moments on the song that you can really relate to. Like, yeah, man. Like, when he was talking about, in that, I forget the name of the song, but when he talked about his relationship with his dad when he was young, he was like, my dad was saying he was gonna come and pick me up. Yeah. And he never did. And he was like real shit. And like when he was rapping about it, I was like, I grew up the same way. Wow, when my pops talked about, I'm gonna come get you this weekend, and then you get the phone call that day up, I ain't gonna be able to make it.
You doing the Will Smith, like?
You understand what I'm saying?
Why don't you want me?
Why don't you want me? You know what I'm saying? But that and J. Cole, like 100% when J. Cole. You understand? You understand what I'm saying? But when J. Cole made that, my neighbors think I'm selling dope. Yeah. That rings with me because of the area that I live in, right? So everybody thinks that the area that I live in, you're either a successful black person. I've met a lot of ex-athletes where I live at the gym. A lot of the brothers who were in there played some type of professional sports on some level. So everybody thinks that that's why you live in this city. Yeah. I remember I was at the gym and I was hooping and I had on like some USC type color shoes. Yeah. And I'm walking through the gym to go get some water and this guy walked up to me. He was like, "You hoop at USC, don't you?" Yeah. And I was like, "Huh?" Yeah. But the mindset of people who live in that city is that the people who are in this city, are connected successfully some type of way through sports. You know what I'm saying? So when J. Cole came out with the Neighbors Think I'm Selling Dope, it rang to me because it was like they think that you're only there for a certain reason.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, like they try to box us in so many times, like when we look like we came from the hood, like 'cause it don't just apply to black people. Like a lot of times we're targeted as that, but it doesn't. Like if you dress a certain way, look a certain way, you fit a certain profile in their mind, it's like you either rapping or you doing drugs.
Yeah.
Like, you can't just be a successful black person.
I could tell you a real life story, right? Mm-hmm. Not every person that's white or Hispanic or Middle Eastern or Asian got their money legally.
No,
right?
I know.
So,
I know people.
You understand what I'm saying?
That's in the business.
Yeah. So we're sitting there thinking just because of stereotypes, like we're the ones that when we get successful, we either shooting the ball, throwing the ball, rapping, dancing, or we doing something illegal.
Yeah.
I work at a community college, right? Mm-hmm. And I remember one morning I came outside and I could hear on the radio, one of the guys was like, "Hey, check this out, man. Y'all might want to come to the north side of the campus. It's going down." And so I go outside the building and I look. There's police helicopters flying around, police cars all through there, but there's also like undercover trucks there. One of the houses directly across the street from the school was a prostitution brothel.
Oh shit.
They had the prostitutes. They had the prostitutes.
No, I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying. I think that's the terminology.
No, it is.
Yeah.
But I'm like, why does nigga choose that word?
That's because I don't know. It's a whole house. It was a whole house across the street from the school. But they had the females sitting across the curb.
Yeah.
All of them in like lingerie.
Yeah.
Right? They were covered, but they're like in lingerie.
Yeah.
And the police didn't arrest them. The police arrested the pimp or the owner of the house. But it was like a big sting.
Yeah, that's crazy. But the thing is, let's keep it 100.
Yeah.
The police be knowing which ones be out here as far as the prostitutes. They be getting servants too.
Oh, trust me. Listen.
Oh, you don't want this ticket? Well, I'm gonna need.
Oh, trust me. Listen, I learned some stuff like, was it last month where I went to San Diego for my boy's wedding?
Oh man.
I was gone, man. I think it was last month, August. Well, August was last month. No,
that was
August.
September.
I went in August, and he had a couple people over there, and this dude was breaking down like this dude, like his partner is I think he is a real street cat, but he's from Vegas.
Yeah.
Right, and he was breaking down to us like I don't know how the conversation came up, but it came up about like prostitution and how the game goes. And he was explaining. He was like, "You gotta understand, like this is big." Like he explained like there's an app, like Brothers Day. There's an app where you could go to any city and you could tap in on the app, and the prostitute comes to you. You don't have to drive.
What was it? Backpage?
It's like Backpage, but you don't have to drive to them no more. You hit the app, you pay your money, they send the female come to you.
That's crazy.
Right? And so I was like, man, that's some dirty stuff. I was like, I'm cool on that. Like, man, like that. He was like, you don't understand. He was like, the real prostitution game, the females are hella clean because their body is the business.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there like, what the hell is going on? So, understand that the police know.
They know.
Corporate people know. There's people out there truly paying for it.
I'm gonna tell you like this because I have had my dealings with different people from different walks of life.
Yeah.
I never paid for that's not my thing.
No, never.
Paying prostitutes with.
Never.
But I know people that was in their life.
Yeah.
So surprisingly, like you said, prostitutes be more cleaner than some of these strippers.
Yeah.
Like we gonna keep it 100.
Yeah.
Like you said, their body is their business. So it's just like if you out here smelling kind of crazy, of course you got the ones that's drugged out type shit.
Yeah, but that's not the ones those are they're doing it to get drugs.
The high end one joints. Nah, they be clean.
Yeah.
They be about their business, and it's like they'll hit you with the game, like straightforward, like this is what I'm like.
It's a crazy world.
Yeah, you like, damn, she talking to me like this.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck? Like,
it's
like you talking about selling your pussy, you know that? Like, but,
yeah.
But hey.
Yeah, it's a crazy world. But before we start drifting all too far left, the original basis of the conversation was off of just like how the upside downness of the world is with like Donald Trump and all of that stuff. And in the midst of this pandemic, right?
Mm-hmm.
We've had a lot of time to just sit to ourselves and learn.
Mm-hmm.
So during this time, what 8 months, 7 months of isolation.
March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October. We is 7th month.
7 months.
Month 7
of being locked down with having ample free time on our hands.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What would you say has stood out to you? What have you learned during this time?
For me, because we're on a different subject than what we was talking about. The thing that I learned about this time is being able to be flexible and being able to switch on the pivot.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean by that is this pandemic situation fucked a lot of people up.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people lost their jobs. A lot of I don't want to get, of course, like people died and that, I don't want to get into that end of it.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as like people losing their jobs and getting unemployed and stuff like that, like it messed up a lot of people's situations, and it was hard for them to bounce back and get back on their feet. So when it's all said and done, like a lot of people, like what they knew as life is going to be completely different. For me, on the other hand, I realized like how important it is. Like, cause I've always been an entrepreneur type of person. So, me being in that game, I was like, okay, I see where things are switching. Let me be able to pivot and adjust. Life is all about adjustments. Like, you could go in with a certain plan, and that's okay. You don't have to be married to it, but be able to adjust to fit the situation so that you can still come up on top. Like prior to this, like years ago, I did the whole clothing thing. This whole situation, like I started getting back into clothes, because what I started realizing, like a lot of people out here with their EDD money, they not able to go out and shop. They at home just sitting on this money, like getting more money than they probably ever seen in their life. Yeah. So I'm like, okay, let me get back in the game. let me give you something to buy.
I'm gonna tell you right now, and you can finish what you're saying. But the older I get, the more I look for solid clothing lines. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh God.
So, with you creating, basically the way I dress is a blessing for me. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah. Because now I'm like, it's no different than when I hit you. Yeah. I was like, hey, I see on the website you got X amount of colors. Yeah. Which rule can you do this for me?
And that'd be the cold thing about it, because like when you actually got your feet on the street, and you touching the people, like he reached out, like these olive green sweats right here, it was his idea. Yeah. Like I knew of, like it wasn't like I wasn't thinking nothing about olive green like sweats. I seen them before, but I wasn't thinking about going and trying to make something happen. He was like, yo, you think you could make some olive green joints for me? I was like, shit. I'm like, that actually might slap. Yeah. Go down and I go find a sweatsuit and whatever, and then I'm like, let me go get the printed stuff, the vinyl, and put it together. Like there's been a couple times where people threw me ideas like on some personal, like they want me to personalize something for them, and then I took it. I'm like, shit, you know what I'm saying? Like they got what they want out of it, and then just like, I'm like, you know what? I'm about to just keep on making it. I'm like, people want this shit. Yeah. So it's like sometimes you gotta be aware of what's going on in the streets, what's hot in the streets, because it's like if you don't keep your ear to the street, you gonna miss out on the opportunity. So when the entanglement shit happened with Will and Jada, I was like,
I'm trying to let. I forgot to tell you, because the people they fell through. But the community that I lived in is, it's I don't know if y'all know Rancho Cucamonga, but it's mixed, but it's white.
Yeah.
My girl was wearing the Karen put the phone down Karen shirt.
And I wear my shirts on the side.
People were stopping her. Where you get that shirt from? I want that shirt. I need that shirt. And she was like, yo, my dude's boy, he make them. So if you serious, you ain't saying nothing but a word. I can tell him. I can tell my boy he'll make them. And she was like, but I don't. They liked it. But when you start talking about, paying for some shit, people start acting a little different. But that that Karen brand, you own something with that. So you got to come up with more little sayings about the Karens and stuff because people like it.
Yeah, I need to put that out. I haven't really been pushing that one lately. I need to get back to pushing that.
Yeah.
But like, that's another one just staying on the swivel. Like the whole Karen talk. Y'all, I'm pretty sure if you watching this, you understand who Karen is. Yeah. So.
And Karen has evolved. If you're black.
Oh yeah.
You can be a Karen now because Karen is not just to an ethnicity; it's an entitlement.
It's an entitlement thing.
So don't think that I'm black, I can't be a Karen. You can be Karen.
You could be that.
You could be Karen.
So, I said, I'm reading the room, seeing what the streets are saying. I made a shirt that said, "Put the phone down, Karen." I'm probably put a picture.
My girl wearing that shit. My girl wearing that shit out. I might have to buy another one because she wear that one. She loves it.
But it's you have to, in this climate. I learned you have to be able to call the audible and switch it up like football. The play, oh shit, let me switch it up. Stay on your pivot. Have a little hustle. You don't have to be all out with the shit. Have your job, whatever.
You don't have to be selling bricks.
I ain't saying go out and sell bricks.
Yeah,
and shit.
but have
a little hustle. If you cut hair on the side, if you cut grass, you mount TVs for people. Have your little hustle so you can put that to the side.
I've always been taught that your business that you do as a profession is your hustle.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if you work for Best Buy, the Geek Squad or something like that, you have a business.
Yeah.
You can do that on the side where people listen, I'll come through $40, $50 this time, third, make it a little bit cheaper than what you would do with the Geek Squad. But then after a time, you'll build a clientele with the knowledge that you're gaining from doing the profession every day. The next thing you know, you are a rival to the Geek Squad, and you learned everything from the Geek Squad.
And that's how it is, and you become a freelancer.
Yes.
So say if you work in the office, whatever, the Excel program and all that stuff. There's a site called Fiverr.com. Freelance. You could go in there and advertise yourself. Yeah. There's different sites like that, but I know Fiverr is one of the popular ones. But get yourself out there on the market. Make that extra money. You don't have to just be limited to just as income. Invest in stocks. Yeah. Don't just have your money just sitting in the bank. It's
long-term investments.
You put your money in a bank, it's not doing nothing for you. No. What's happening is that somebody else is getting a loan, getting your money that you put in there, and then there's a whole story to that. Yeah. Make your money work for you. Me personally, throughout the years, whenever I receive a tax return, I take that money and I invest it. I don't just sit there a lot of people go buy a bunch of J's, jewelry, new car, all that. That's cool if that's what you into. But the smart thing to do is to invest that. Yeah. And from there, it's shit, create I believe in creating your opportunities, not waiting for opportunities. If you create it, you will never be in lack of nothing. Yeah. Because I didn't start cutting hair until last year. Yeah. I cut my own hair, but I wasn't really into it like that. Yeah. So I was shit, I'm not trying to go back to working for nobody. I started going to school. Yeah. In school right now, doing the whole apprenticeship joint. Got nice with it. Now I'm out here just in the streets, just pulling up on people, and getting paper. Always make the adjustments. Pay attention to what's going on in the climate. You can capitalize. Because the thing about entrepreneurship, it's not about having a product to sell or a service to provide. Yeah. It's finding a problem and providing a solution. Yes. That's it. Yeah. People couldn't get in contact with their barbers. Barbers is missing in action. They can't cut in the shop. They call somebody like me, pull up, like, cut.
Yeah.
I'm able to charge more than the shop prices.
Yeah.
Because I'm pulling up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
be able to adjust and pivot. Like, you can't just be out here just stuck on, like, if you ain't learned nothing during this time,
yeah,
that's the thing you should learn.
Yeah.
Don't be limited to these regular 9-to-5 jobs. That's cool. Like, even during this time, if you don't, like, just learn something.
Yeah.
Pick up a book and read and learn about real estate. Learn about stocks. Like, learn about something in depth instead of just being limited to, like, go to work, save up, and then when I'm 50, 60, then I'll retire, and that's it. Like, why enjoy the fruits of your labor when you're old and you can barely move?
Mm-hmm.
Like, do that shit when you're young. Like, what the fuck? Like,
then that's why I'm big on travel.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm big on travel. I'm big on, priorities and having your priorities and having a long-term game plan. But at the same time, I'm big on, 2-3 months save.
Yeah.
Go on a trip. Go see the world. Go do something. I mean, born and raised California.
Mm-hmm.
I pretty much have exhausted every place you can, as a tourist, go.
Yeah.
In California.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? That's a blessing because you've seen your state.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You've seen the different changes in the state from being in Oakland and San Francisco to being down in Southern California where we live to being down in San Diego and seeing the contrast of each portion of the state. You know what I'm saying? So you have to create memories, you have to create opportunities. And you have to understand that when he said that, some people wait for opportunities, some people create opportunities, I'm going to clean that up. Brothers like him make opportunities. Brothers like me make opportunities. There's different facets and different lanes that you can go about doing it. You will never have an opportunity waiting. Never. You'll never. You might be blessed and something might fall in your lap. But if you're one of those people that's waiting for something to happen for you, it's not going to happen for you. You have to understand, my brother get out here all the time and he's grinding, he's working, he's doing this thing. He's coming up with clothing lines. And like I said, I'm into clothes, I'm into fashion, I'm into all of that stuff. Everything he make, I'm going to put on and I'm going to wear it like it's something that I bought from the mall.
It's quality.
So
it's quality.
It looks good, but he has the mindset and he has that drive to go out and get it. I have ideas in my head, right? I'm not the type of person that's like, oh shoot, let me go downtown and let me try to find this, that, and third. But guess what I do? Because I got him. Hey bro, you think you got olive green?
Yeah.
And he like, wait, what you mean? I'm gonna have to check that out. But because he's a go-getter, he didn't just be like, oh, I hear what you're saying. He went down there and was like, hey, we might be on to something. So you have to understand that there's people who go out and create opportunities and there's different lanes.
Because the thing is, like, prior to when we started this podcast, we was talking, I was saying, what I realized about myself, because I wear different hats. Like, being in my position, like, when you don't have, like, a big staff and all that stuff, you got to wear multiple hats. So I came to the realization, I'm like, okay, like, I don't like doing paperwork and shit like that. Like, I'm just not that type of guy. Like, if I have to, I will. But I'm like, I'm not the office guy. I came to the realization that I'm the talent. I can create ideas and go and create it and execute. On the flip side, he's the guy that's like into like he's going to school to be for business administrative. So I'm like, he has the so it's like I can create opportunities on one level. He can create opportunities on one level. You feel me? See where I'm going with this? So like he said, like there's different levels and fashions of this of being able to create opportunities. He's into investing in stocks heavy. You know what I'm saying? Like I do it lightly, but not like how he does. That's creating an opportunity for himself. He's saving it every 3 months and you go do a trip. That's creating an opportunity. Or he might invest in somebody's company. That's saving and creating an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like learn what's your position. A lot of times people don't know what their position is. Like they feel like they have to be the star player or they have to be the one like controlling the moves or the money and shit like whatever you the best at.
If you know me personally, you know I have an adult basketball team. And I learned long time ago that you're not going to be successful in a competitive, because some of these adult leagues are extremely competitive. There's some talented dudes who done played D1, D2, NAIA, all of that stuff. And being a person who's like, you know, you can play basketball, but you may not have the same experience as these people, and you still want to compete, you're going to have to figure out how to compete. And what I learned is that as much as we, in our minds, we want to be Kobe Bryant, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, some of us just naturally don't have the ability to do that, right?
You're the towel boy.
You understand what I'm saying? But what I learned was what I lacked, somebody else had. So I've never been a dunker. I've never, I mean, I could get close to the rim. I've never dunked a ball. But I got a partner who can jump out of the gym. So I went and brought him on the team, right? I got a cousin who was born ambidextrous. He can dribble the ball with both hands with no problem protected. You can't steal it from him. I got him, made him the point guard. I got another homie who got a motor, like his energy is high level. He plays great defense, this, that, third. I went and got him because he does what I can't do, right? But what I do well is I strategize. And I play my position. So I was able to study and do the recruiting on other teams and how we gonna beat these things, this, that, and third. And these guys trusted me with the idea. And we've had success. So the point that he's making is that you're not gonna be successful without a team and the people who can play your position. He's the talent. He's the one who knows the how to work the computers and the medias and put in editing and this, that, and the third. But at the same time, if it came down to, okay, like realistically, how are we supposed to run the business on an organizational understanding? That's where I come in. You understand what I'm saying? You combine the two, you're successful. So
100%.
Everything that he's saying, 100% on point. I'm with it. The clothing line, the Simmons clothing line, you're going to see more of it. You're going to see me rocking more of it.
More new music coming too. Just
new
to let y'all
music,
know.
you know what I'm saying? Because he had a song that I helped write a hook to. You know what I'm saying?
Another day in the life.
You know, but no, my brother, he do a whole lot of things. But I want to get to what I learned during this time period. So you know I'm always pushing the 15 minutes a day, 15 you read 15 minutes a day, you're 15 minutes smarter, right? And you remember how I was like, man, I ain't read nothing because of school. For a long time I wasn't reading anything. So time management, if you could do time management, manage your time properly, you could turn, 24 hours into 48 hours. And so I took my own advice and I was like, listen, I have 15 minutes a day, so I'm gonna jump back into reading 15 minutes a day. But because I'm so seasoned with reading, a lot of my reading turns into like an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? And I really jumped back into gaining knowledge. And one of the things that I learned, I read this book called The Miseducation of a Negro. And it might sound off-putting to somebody who's not black, right? Oh, like here's this pro-black book, but it really is not a book to hate other people, right? It really is a book to understand that the miseducation of the Negro is a thought process of how we have been taught to think wrong. It's 100% self-assuring. Like this book make you have to look at yourself and how you learn. And one of the things that really stood out to me was the importance of group economics, us as a community coming together and holding responsibility on how we do business and give back to our community. And one of the topics within that was the purpose of going to school, the purpose of having a profession. A lot of us go to school or have a profession, a trade, a hustle. And it's for our own benefit, right? When in essence, our hustles, our trades, our profession should be for our community.
100.
So if I go to school to be a doctor, I'm going to school with the understanding of what medically is my community lacking, and what gap can I fill in, right? If I become a lawyer, what about my community don't they understand about their law? That what you can do, what you can't do, what you could sue for, what you can't sue for. I'm supposed to go to school so I can give that back to my people so that they're abreast of what's going on and know their rights, right?
Facts.
Or if I'm a businessman, an entrepreneur, like my brother, the end goal of being an entrepreneur in the black community should be teaching group economics, should be teaching wealth, should be teaching finances, should be teaching stocks, should be teaching all of that, so that we understand the importance of the entrepreneur. Because the dollar bill that goes into this man's pocket, right, should be going back to our community. But if enough of us is doing it, right? So say that we all live in a community and there's 150 black businesses and they all have an understanding of giving back to the community. Do you understand, like the high school we went to, Rialto High School, so let's say that in Rialto we all have a business. We're all business minded and want to give back. The high school that we went to, we don't have to worry about government funding.
Yeah.
We can come up and say, what books do these kids need that are up to date? How much is that going to run us? That's going to run $2,500.
And we solved the problem ourselves.
We solved the problem ourselves. So what I really learned from reading that, I read a multitude of things, but that really stuck out to me. That even me now going to school for my master's, right? So my master's is in management and leadership with a concentration in human resources. The thing that stood out to me now after reading and getting this knowledge was the leadership part of the degree.
Yeah.
Understanding that the things that I've learned is for me to give to somebody else.
Yeah.
It's for me to raise up other people with a different mindset. And we talked about the change culture, the unfreezing, changing, and refreezing. That is something that I have knowledge of, right? So now I can say, listen, check this out. This is the thing that's done plagued us. Let's unfreeze this.
Yeah.
This is the change that we need to bring about.
Yeah.
Now let's refreeze that so that generations from that point on looks at it as this being the norm. And the shabbiness, the subparness is old thinking. You know what I'm saying? So that was something that I really learned, and I think that's really something that was potent to me during this pandemic, of actually just having more time to just like reflect and think, is that coming out of this, there's a lot of young black males and women who are starting up businesses in this pandemic. I have a partner who has, I don't even wear slides, right? And it's because I'm just paranoid, because I always feel like some shit gonna crack off when I leave when I leave the house.
I'm the slide king.
You know
That's what I'll be wearing.
So I feel like, man, if something crack off, I need to be able to have like the sneakers, the skeets on, so I can get down or I can get on. But I don't live like that. I don't live that in that life anymore, right? But that's still just old residual.
It was funny that you mentioned that, because I was cutting somebody today. Yeah, he was saying like he still wear basketball shorts and his pants. He's like, you don't know if something's gonna pop off. I'm like, but like, because I'm like, because he was like, you don't know, because he's younger too.
Yeah.
So,
he's trouble.
But like you said, like we don't be in those type of environments where we have to be on the swivel like that. So.
I don't, but, so that might still be a thing. But I remember, like, I don't know what he's talking about, because that was for hoop. Right, I wasn't like, oh, you want to fight and just pull my pants down and add on some basketball shorts.
For me, like that was natural because of hooping. And if you had a fade,
you had a fade. Okay,
so
yeah.
That's what I.
So the point that I'm making is that I have a partner who has a slide business.
Yeah.
And I bought them, and I forgot, like, because I'm so militant in, if something crack off, you don't wear slides at the house.
Yeah.
So when I went to San Diego, I brought the slides. And I was like moving around in the slides, and I forget how comfortable like slides could be. Like it could change. It could change.
The link.
Yeah, I'm gonna send you the link. It'll change your like good slides on your feet when you out can actually relax your day.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
I throw the Nike slides on all the time. I'm like,
it's but he has slides. I got other partners who have clothing lines. I have people who have what you call it, watches. I have a watch, a young homeboy who has a watch company, and the watches are fire, and they they about $100. I mean, the same quality that you would be paying thousands of dollars for a watch.
Yeah.
He has watches for $125, $150, and they go good with any outfit that you have.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing that's beautiful about right now is that there's a lot of people who are starting their own.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And that gives us a leg up in the community, because when the pandemic is over, we still need to spend with these people.
Yeah. And the thing is, like, as you was mentioning that, it makes me think along the lines of this. As far as like spending with your people in your community,
Mm-hmm.
Especially like speaking to black folks, when you look at the situation when Indians from the Middle East come over here,
Mm-hmm.
or the Koreans, Hispanics, like even white people, they spend with their community, whatever. Like they come over here and they set up shop. They have like this whole group economics thing to lift each other up. Like they open up a donut shop or a 7-Eleven, whatever the case may be.
And everybody in the community knows that's where you go to get your donuts.
That's where you go to. And from what I learned is that they bring people like periodically from their homeland to come over here.
Yeah.
And they work the business, and then they set up them with like a home or something. Like after, like I don't remember which community it was, if it was with the Koreans or with the Indians or whatever, but it's a whole system that they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, we as a people, like you said, like when you go into business, the mindset should be to teach and give some information off, or help put somebody in your community into position. And it's like, even if it's just your friend from a different race, you're able to help them get into position because you want to help them.
Yeah.
Like you're able to help your loved ones. So a lot of times as black folks, like we don't enter into a business thinking like, how can I serve and provide knowledge to my people? If I'm gonna be a lawyer, a doctor, or officer, or whatever the case may be. So if I'm gonna be in the clothing business, and like I didn't really think about it until you mentioned that. I'm like, shoot, like I know like my brand in general, like when I do the black royalty, like that's to uplift my people. Like that's specifically for them. I got us, the Simmons and the Karens and all that stuff. Like all that's for everybody else or whatever. But like certain brands, the Independence Pending, I got the flag on here. But that's to uplift my people. My whole thing is I'm a creator. Yeah. Like through and through. And I want to be able to inspire and uplift people. And that's not limited to no specific race. But the race I want to touch first and uplift is my people. Yes. And then it trickles down from there.
And that's the thing that I actually learned, because I mean we say all the time, and there's people who are contrary to us, but we believe that being pro-black is not anti anything else, right? So we're of the mindset of that we can establish our community and still do business with you. You understand what I'm saying? 100%. But the mindset is that our total focus is making sure that our community is straight. Because I do believe that we have come to a point as black people where we no longer have to be rely on other ethnicities to sustain us. Yeah. I really believe that if we actually stop and we focus, we can sustain ourselves.
100%.
Right? And so once you sustain yourself, then you can start doing business, because I can buy from a wholesaler who's Asian. I can buy from a wholesaler who might be white, right? So my business is going to you, and vice versa. Your business is coming to me. But at the end of the day, the products that I sell and the percentage of what I sell goes back to my community. So we're still evolving within the economical standard of society. But at the same time, we're doing it with a focus of uplifting our community, which is a beautiful thing. And I hope that we can really gravitate into that, and I hope that we can weed out the scammers and the bullshitters who kind of undermine what we're doing and kind of take us for
they're going against the cause and the distraction.
They're going against the cause, and so that's why I said that's really what I learned. That's really something that stood out to me during this time. You know, I feel like there really is a light at the end of the tunnel. As crazy and upside down as the world is right now, I do see that there's going to be, you know, for a lack of a better terminology, a birth of a new nation.
It's slow progress, but it's progress.
But it's progress.
So remember that. Anything else you want to touch on?
No, man. I think that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think we touched on a lot. A lot of gems was shed in this one. I hope that you got to take away something from this. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share.
All of that.
Leave a comment. Let us know what parts you like. Or,
and we're still growing. Let us know what you like, what you dislike. Let us know what, you know, if you have ideas that can help us, you know, improve.
Yeah, give us feedback. Give us feedback on the topic you heard right here. And your thoughts about what's going on with the president or what's going on in the community.
Because you know this fool gonna respond. That's some craziness.
I'll respond on video. I'm not gonna sit there and type and everybody.
Be prepared.
I'm with the bullshit.
Yeah.
So like we about to shit. The game is still going. Still got time. So until the next time, it's Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Bang 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 bang.